So when you pull a tarot card, how quickly do you start moving towards trying to figure out what that card means? How quickly do you move into sense making or meaning making, trying to understand that card? And is there any sense that something in you is trying to get it right? It might be really subtle, just this kind of quiet feeling of, maybe I should know this by now. I should know this card. I should know what it means. Because for me, if I really slow down and I stay with myself long enough, I can notice that there's often a really quiet voice in the background asking if I'm doing this right, asking me if I really know what I'm doing, suggesting in some small way that I should already know what the card means. And so from there, it's really easy to just go and reach for the guidebook or start trying to remember what the meanings are, second guessing in some way, second guessing what I'm seeing and experiencing. And what I really want to highlight is this moment that most of us don't really notice, including me, even though I'm always watching for it, because it happens so fast. In that moment, right there, something in the body tightens. Something constricts. Something tenses. And the reason this matters and what I'm so interested in here is that moment can shape the entire experience. It might be the difference between leaving a reading feeling more resourced and more at ease or feeling more stressed and depleted. So I want to slow this down just a little and notice what's happening here. What I'm seeing is happening here, at least. So you might even pull a card now if you feel like it, or bring to mind maybe what happens for you, or just try this out later. See what happens for you. See if you can notice the space between pulling a card and the movement to try to figure it out. See if you can notice that little gap. Maybe your attention narrows a bit. What happens? Maybe there's a sense of urgency. Maybe you almost don't even notice anything's happening. Maybe you just feel yourself reaching for the guidebook without even kind of thinking about it. Or a description somewhere, or Google, or one of the AI chats. And just to be clear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with reaching for the guidebook or wanting to know. I'm just really, really fascinated and interested in that space. That tiny little space of not knowing that collapses the moment that we turn away from ourselves and that not knowing and into trying to figure it out, trying to make meaning. Because something shifts in that moment in how we're relating to a card. And this isn't just tarot. This can show up when we're making art, when we're writing, playing music, this subtle pressure to already know what we're doing and to figure it out before we've moved through that process of not knowing. So for me, this is one of the shapes of how one of my inner critics show up. So this is one of the shapes of my inner critic. And it's not something wrong. There's nothing wrong here. There's nothing wrong with how that part of me is showing up. It's something that learned to keep me safe in this particular way, in a world that says that knowing the answer is what makes you okay. And there's another possibility here. You can still reach for the guidebook. That's totally fine. I do it all the time. I love my guidebooks. And you can also notice if something in the body is tightening, if something constricts, if something closes or narrows. That might be a small invitation. What's needed in that moment is not more understanding, not more knowledge, but a little bit more safety. So you might slow down and take a breath and feel the body supported by gravity, the earth, the chair. And see if it's possible to give yourself permission, especially the body, permission to not know what this card means yet. And just look and see what you notice. Maybe your gaze softens. Maybe your perspective or your awareness actually widens a little bit. You're still looking at the same card, but from a completely different perspective or headspace, even. Same card, two different experiences. And again, just to be really clear, there's nothing you need to do differently here. This isn't about doing anything right. It's just an invitation to notice that gap and to allow even just a small bit of softening, just a little bit of contact with the experiencing body. Because that moment, a deeper breath, a little more ease, the view, the perspective widening a little bit, can begin to reestablish and restore a small sense of safety. And from there, something opens again. Something begins to flow freshly. So maybe just notice what happens next time you pull a card or anywhere you find yourself trying to get it right. And if this space feels helpful to you in any way, you're welcome to stay here and just hang out with me for a while.